Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Kareem, and I am the host of the Black Women Healing Together Summit. The Black Women Healing Together is a movement to educate, inspire, and empower women all over the world to stand in their greatness, to strengthen our powers in our numbers, and to become unstoppable in building our legacies. It's time for us to set boundaries and honor ourselves. Today, I have the pleasure of hosting the Black Women Healing Together Roundtable, where we're going to come and just share a few of our how we've overcome our past challenges, traumas, dramas, and even our disappointments. So I'm going to go around, since this is a round table, and allow everyone to introduce themselves, and so that they can share with you why they too joined the the summit. So Dr. Cherie, please introduce yourself and tell everybody why you decided to join the Black Women Healing Together Summit.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Cherie M. Good, also known as the Recharge Strategist. I am the founder CEO of Total Harmony Enterprises, Make Me Over Wellness, and the Jordan Alexander Cofield Foundation. I am a 10-time best-selling international author, speaker, and wellness coach. The reason that I decided to be a part of the Black Women Healing Together Summit is because our voices no longer can be silenced. Oftentimes we hear the statement that our stories are about us, but they definitely aren't for us. They are for others to benefit and know that there is some hope after any type of trauma that they've experienced in their life. So knowing that I've had traumas in my own life, especially with the loss of my youngest son, Jordan Alexander Cofield, I definitely wanted to be a part because I know someone else has lost a child and is still healing from that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Militia, tell everybody who you are and why did you decide to join the Black Women Healing Together Summit.
My name is Malisha Ogden, and of course, I'm from Alabama. And I joined the summit because I wanted to be able to share my story, being transparent, in hopes that my story can help someone else. So many women deal with being abused and have been homeless once or maybe twice in their life. And some people never recover from those experiences they go through. But being able to show strength and endurance and being transparent with others can definitely help someone else come out of a situation and help them heal. I'm a small business owner. I'm an author. And I just love, like I said, fierce women who don't fake the process. You don't have to fake anything, but be your authentic self.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So, Nora, tell everybody who you are and why you decided to join the Black Women Healing Together Summit.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Nur Jihan Abdullah Al Haq, and I am here to share my story, like Melisha said, because I know that from my story, it's going to help others to heal because it's so inspiring, and it'll give them a second chance at life if it's something that they've been dealing with and they don't know how to get over it. Then prayerfully, they will hear something that will give them insight on what they can do for their storm, something that remains only momentarily.
Okay, okay. And then Shayna, tell everybody who you are and why you decided to join.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shayna Holmes, and I am from North Carolina. And my company is Forever Blooming Financially, where I focus on credit restoration. And the reason why I decided to join this incredible platform is because I truly do believe that when you are able to speak freely about your journey, it can be able to help other people. And I know for me personally, just going through abusive relationships that led into miscarriages and early infant death, I truly do believe that my story was able to help somebody else. And I'm glad that there's a community of people that also look like me that we can join together and just speak freely because it is therapeutic.
Can I say it? Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna go into now um what did you like about the summit? Like, you were a speaker, you were backstage. So Melisha, go into sharing, what did you absolutely like about participating in the summit?
I am participating as far as myself or with the listening to the other ladies.
What give me one thing you liked join participate well, just about the summit period.
I loved how each individual black woman shared their story, how they were really transparent and raw. I mean, they shared stories that you probably someone else would probably be scared to share.
Mhm.
One story that was shared on there, one of my girlfriends was watching with me, and the first thing she said, she grabbed her mouth and she was like, I went through that. I dealt with that. I never told anyone to this very moment. So that lets you know that someone can be helped through something that they hear from someone else.
Yes.
You know, everything has to be so taboo that, you don't speak of it. But if you don't speak of it, how are you going to help someone else? How are you going to educate them on the things that they can do to help themselves? You don't have to have, like I said, you don't need a PhD to be able to give someone advice that could help them or save their lives, or to show them how to recover from a situation that they thought it was hopeless.
Right,
So
right.
I love the stories that the ladies shared. I learned something from each and every one of them, and I admire each and every one of the ladies that took part in it.
Absolutely. I love it. Nora, tell everybody what's one thing that you liked about the summit.
I liked how everybody's story was different, but it was still the same in some way. Because when I listened to the ones I was able to hear, I said, "Oh wow, that's the same thing I was going to say because I went through the same thing." So it just goes to show that even though we all have a different story, we've all went through something the same, but we have a different outcome with what we went through. And by us sharing it, other people are seeing different ways that they can actually, heal from their trauma or pain or whatever they're going through. That they might still be going through it because they haven't been totally healed from it yet.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shayna.
I love the community and the authenticity of it all. Like, just piggybacking off the other ladies, like that community of being able to freely speak, and have a platform to do it on and to not feel alone. Because I think that's one of the challenging things when you are going through the trauma. It's like you feel so alone and so stuck in that situation where it's like, okay, who do I go to help? And do I have anybody to speak to? So it's nice to have other women that, although our stories are completely different, it's still, just like Nora said, it's still the same in a way because we all kind of have that connection of this is what we went through and this is how we got out of it.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Dr. Cherie, share it with everyone what you enjoyed about the summit.
What I enjoyed about the summit is that every one of the ladies who shared their authentic truths and their stories, they were fearless. So it takes a certain amount of vulnerability and fearlessness to be able to tell people your dark, deep secrets or past or things that really hurt you, because sometimes we fear that people will use our hurts and our pain against us. So I think that it was just admirable that each woman was fearless enough to show their faces and tell their story so that someone else can heal through their journey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Crystal, thank you for coming. Tell everybody who you are and what's one thing that you enjoyed about the summit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I had to get my son to work this iPhone.
Well, tell everybody who you are
I'm I'm Crystal Allen, and I spoke on healing your parents having illness and healing from the recovering from that and making sure that your life is more healthy, living a healthier life. And what I did like was everybody's faith and spirituality, God, and how you had to hold on to something.
Mhm.
And that was the basically the go-to, because God is so powerful that at the end, that's all you have it. at the end of the day. And so your faith in God. So he'll keep you through no matter what.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Crystal. It's like when you have nobody to turn to, nothing else to turn to, you know that God is there with you, walking, saying, I got you. You just need to have faith, and be in alignment with what He's asking of us. So absolutely. So, Tootie, we see you. We can you say something? See if we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes,
I
yes.
cannot see y'all. And I'm like, Lord, I don't know where I'm at, but I can't see nobody.
So we can see you and we can hear you. So tell everybody who you are and what did you like about the summit?
I am Tootie Wilson, and I am a chef here in Texas. Um, and I joined the summit for several reasons. Like I said, I worked with Erica years ago, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was very empowering, and even this was even more so. Um, all of us have different experiences, and all of us have the same sources. As far as knowing that you're not intelligent enough to do life by yourself, and that life is so much bigger than the humans that surround you. So you have to refer to God, or some people may call it the universe. I'm a God girl, but we all understood that we needed something bigger than we were ourselves, and that your story may inspire another person to keep going or to restructure. So I just think what I enjoyed about it the most was just listening to everybody's struggle and how they overcame it, because we all made it.
Absolutely. And we still gonna go through things,
Mm-hmm.
but we have different tools under our belt now, and we know that there's a higher, like you said, a higher source than us. I love it. I mean, it's just so key, right? It's just so key. You can't get away from it. So, yeah. So,
I was at a school the other day, and I had to give a speech, and it was a like a who am I speech, basically. And I started it out, and I said, I've seen too many victories to let defeat have the last say. And I would quote a couple of scriptures that mean a lot to me. And my instructor is a little older than I am, but he's a Caucasian male, and he had no idea about any of those scriptures, because he said he doesn't believe in religion and he doesn't follow the Bible. And I was like, how did you make it this far to have nothing to refer to or to reference in harder times, or to inspire you to keep going? How did you get this far? And he was like, I don't know, I just made it. And I just was like, wow, you can't even acknowledge that was God working for you. Okay. And I left that alone, because you can't make people believe because you do. But it's really disheartening when you see somebody who has absolutely no idea about any of it. And I'm just like, ooh, I wouldn't want to live that life.
I get it. I get it. So, let's jump into the questions because I really want people to really understand this healing, process, and everybody has a different process. So, I'm going to ask, and anybody can jump in here. As you were going through your challenge back in the day, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was, what did you need at the time that you did not have? Who wants to go first? And I just want people to know that these are not pre-planned questions. They don't know what I'm going to ask them. I just told them, my leaders, my bold ones, just step up and just talk. Okay, so you all have 2 minutes or less to go around the table. So, and you don't even have to answer until we get to the next question. You might feel better about the next question. So again, what did you need while you were going through that process that you did not have?
I can start. So my story was one of loss of a child. And so sometimes I think I just needed moments of stillness and to just be left alone to let my feelings be what they were. Oftentimes people bombard you when you have a loss. They come around constantly and they mean well. But sometimes remember that that person is already emotionally drained and they need just some moments of stillness by themselves to process what just happened to them. So I would say if you are giving someone support who is grieving, be cognizant of what hours you're visiting, and at a certain point leave, like, hey, I've been here, I've
Okay.
given my support, but at the same time, it can be very exhausting because you want to entertain, but at the same time, they're supposed to be there for you. So it's about your needs and not what they want, just to sit there, for hours and hours. So I would say keep that in mind when you're helping someone who's healing from grief.
Gotcha. Who
I'll
else
go
wants?
next.
Okay.
I needed people at that time to stop saying to me that special phrase, "It is what it is." That was very, very hard for me to deal with. Or I even had a friend at the time, like, well, now you can stop
Oh, wait a
talking.
minute. Okay, everybody, push your mute button and allow her to talk. Push your mute button because I don't know
Oh,
what that is.
okay, so I'll back up. I needed people to stop saying it is what it is, and just kind of brushing off like my hurt and my trauma at the time, because that was incredibly hard for me to deal with. I even had a friend at that point in my life that said, "Okay, well, now that it's over, now you can stop talking about it." And I'm like, I just had a late miscarriage. I'm sad, like I'm hurting, and I need people to talk to. So it would have been helpful to have people not be dismissive, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. And like you said, yours was a relationship, abusive relationship, and a miscarriage, so that people
Yes.
know your background.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay, Crystal, I heard you wanted to go next, so go ahead.
I needed support for my kids. I needed for their daddy to come get them because I needed a break. I was helping take care of my mom, and men don't realize sometimes that extra support that we need, and we on them for certain. When you're saying doing everything, it's really hard. And when during COVID, I was stuck in the house with everybody, OP. Like even my nights weren't equal because it was like having a newborn baby with my mom. I'm looking for her to call me or fall or mistreat. And sometimes you just need somebody to help you so you can have a solitude break from the reality, and just like I said, the outlet was going to the grocery store. I would have to leave my kids. They were 8, but to look after my mom while I did that without, so they could call me and say, "Hey, grandma's moving, trying to walk, and she's not supposed to do that." So that was my only source, and I needed that support, and it wasn't there.
Gotcha. Y'all know what? I've never really told this publicly before, but Crystal, I understand. I don't know if anybody have been through this before because most of you all on here just absolutely don't have no children. But I want to share the story, the little portion, because the people that are watching have children, may have some children. But I wanted to relate a little bit to Crystal because I remember raising my children, and it was like a whole year where I don't know if it was depression or what, but it was like, how your kids go to school from like 8 to 3 or something. I was really hoping that they can stay after school. I was like, they need some more hours to stay after school. And then I was like, them damn kids need to spend the night at school. I was so like just at my wits end. And so sometimes we really do need that help. And so yeah, like I said, a lot of people won't understand it, but it's not for everybody to understand. It's for the people that really have been at their wits end and just, needed that help or needed that extra support. I keep hearing that the African culture, they actually have a whole village where they actually sit there and they help each other. We don't even know our neighbors sometimes, so we have a lot that we need to work on. So we need absolutely Black women healing together is so important. So I guess I want to ask you, go ahead, Tootie. Good. I'm glad you said some. Go ahead, unmute.
Okay. I know y'all probably saw this look at my face was like, ooh. So I figured out I minimized my screen and now I can see everybody. I'm so excited. Hey, pretty ladies. Because
Hey.
I have to blow everything up so big, so I only get like I can only see my face and it's like down in the corner. Now I see everybody's pretty faces. I'm so excited. Okay, but um when I was in like the height of my struggle, it was like I said, my April was the one who made everything work better for me. But one friend asked me a question one day, and nobody had ever asked, so I didn't know how to take it. But she was like, "Well, what can I do to support you in this moment?" And I was like, "Damn, that's a deep question." Because it's like, not what do you need? What can I help with? But what can I do to support you? Because everybody understood that I was fighting for independence, and to go from doing it by myself, and now I need somebody to drive me from place to place, or I got to catch an Uber, and I'm having to rely on other people outside of myself, was the biggest challenge, the biggest struggle for me, period. And so when she said, "Well, what can I do to support you in this moment?" It made me think, don't try to bite the whole elephant. Take it bite by bite. Stop trying to eat it all at one time. And know that if you tell people, this is what I need today, this is what I need right now, if you ask, somebody will help you. But if you are just me with my superwoman cape and you just gonna jump on the elephant's back and just start biting away, then you're never gonna get anywhere, because people are there and they will support you if you ask them. So for me, the biggest thing for me was putting my pride aside and saying, I can't do this, I need help with. So once I got out of my own way, everything got a lot easier. So support was definitely one of the things that I needed, that I didn't know that I needed, and I didn't know how to ask for it.
That is so good. And I can see how you can be blindsided or sideswiped by that question, because not a lot of people literally ask that question. How can I
Mhm.
support you? So when that's something foreign to you, you're like, dang, I don't even know how to respond to that, right? Like, I don't even
Because
know
other
what
people
I
would,
need support.
yeah, because people would always say, well, okay, and then you tell them what you need, but they would just go do it for you. But she didn't want to do it
Oh,
for me. She wanted me to do it, but she was willing to
yeah.
assist me in getting it done. And that made all the difference in the world.
Yes. So let's go to the next question. What's one thing that I asked you all that you may say, as the interviewer, I could have you would have asked me an additional question? Because could anybody have think of a question, an additional question I could have asked you all in your interview?
Yeah, I can go with that one.
Okay, go
So,
ahead.
okay, so I know you had asked, what do we do? And I forgot to answer that at the beginning of my interview. But then some something you could have asked was like, what did I do after I got my recovery? Like, what did I do with my life then? Not just the fact that, if some of y'all haven't heard my story, that my neck was broken by my son's father, so I had to go through rehab to learn how to walk again and everything like that. But what did I do after that once I was rehabilitated? Well, I'll just go ahead and share that. So I went back to school, right? So it took me 7 years, but I got my degree in psychology, and then I was working. And so then once I realized what I wanted to do, I really wanted to be a counselor, but God changed it for me to be a speaker. So now I'm a domestic violence advocate, you know, to actually educate on domestic violence. I didn't know what the signs were. So that was something that was probably left out of the interview. What did I do? Not just so much of what do I do as like an entrepreneur or anything like that, but my service and what I do to serve people, and that is what I do. I'm a domestic violence not only survivor but an advocate to be able to help others that are in the same situation or that may be getting ready to get in that situation. So that was probably something that could have been addressed.
So in the beginning of I always ask everybody, in your own words, tell everybody what do you do and who you are. And
Mm-hmm.
we have a 20-minute interview, so I expect everyone to say what they do and who they are at that
Yeah.
time, right? So does anybody else have a so thank you for that, Noor. Anybody else have a question that I could have asked that I didn't ask, or even the audience forgot to ask that you think that could have been addressed in the 20-minute interview? Because I did open it up for questions and say, hey, y'all get to ask some questions to the speakers as well. So is there anything that anybody could have asked you or me as the interviewer, right? That you want us to know?
Um, Maybe suggestion, what the support system has been like through the transition of recovering from what you went through. That could have
Okay.
been.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Um, when you go through different situations, like with me, I wish I could have heard you got this instead of the judgment. No, everybody assumes you're going through. Like with me, with when I was in a abusive relationship when I was married. I was raised in a tight knit holiness church, and you get married, you stay married, no matter what goes on, you keep it in that house and you deal with it. But I made the choice to walk away, to say, you know what? I don't care what about religion and what God didn't want me to be going through a situation like this. And in that, going through that process, I became homeless because I decided to walk away from everything. But I fought my way back. So instead of people saying, girl, I wouldn't have dealt with that. Just tell me you got this. Just, be that shoulder that I needed or that strength. Because I told them I didn't need, excuse my expression, I didn't need the ghetto mentality way of thinking. I needed positivity. I needed someone to let me know that what I was doing, it may not be easy, but you got this.
Absolutely. The encouragement, the
Yes, people
cheerleader,
are quick to judge. Don't know the
yeah.
What's her
story, don't
name?
know the situation, but they're quick to judge rather than help. If you see somebody that's going through something, don't talk about them, help them.
That's right. Absolutely.
What's her name?
And always remember that no one is exempt from any of the challenges that either we make a bad decision on, what God may put us through.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally understand, Militia, what you're saying. That's Militia Tootie.
Okay. I was gonna say this because you said something and my face just lit up when you said, I wish somebody had told me you got this. So I have this bracelet. I don't know. Can y'all see it? I'm trying to.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I think
see
it's
it.
front of the camera now. Okay. So my friend April, my Texas April, she bought me this for Christmas. Can you read the inscription?
We can't see it.
No, we can't
And it
see that.
says, "You
It's
effing
too
got
little.
this." So, in the height of my eye struggle, when I was right before I stopped driving and everything for Christmas, she had brought me a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, "Why she buy this mess?" And she said, "Okay, let me stop playing. So here's your real gift." And there was this a sterling silver bracelet in this box, but it's inscribed and says, "You effing got this," because she know the F word. It was like my favorite word in the world, and I never take it off. So if I'm doing great, I wear it. If I'm doing bad, I wear it. But I always remember somebody believes in me no matter what state I'm in. And that's my motivation. So
I love it.
if I can link you on Facebook and you send me your address, I'll mail you one.
Oh, absolutely.
Militia.
Thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is so wonderful. That is so awesome. So, I guess the next thing I would ask is there any type of, now that you all have overcome, can you name one boundary that you have set that is a non-negotiable? Like, this will not happen to me again. As long as I'm able-bodied and sane. What would that one thing be? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first, but it wasn't a thing that I wouldn't allow anymore in my life. It was more so my self-care is non-negotiable. I'm still healing. I'm not healed. I mean, it's only been 2 years since my son passed. So I'm still healing. I have moments where I really break down and cry and things like that. And I don't apologize for that, but I don't let anything interfere with my self-care journey. Taking care of myself, knowing that life is so short. I live each day fully. And if it's something that does not align, I'm not afraid to let things go and people go out of my life in order to make sure that I'm living my life fully. So if tomorrow is my last day, then I know I lived well.
Absolutely. I love it. Who's next?
Oh, for me, I care differently about people and things. Everybody came before me, and I would always get my scraps of whatever I had left of myself. And now I eat the cake and I give away the crumbs more so than I used to. Because it's one thing when you feel like you pour yourself out for everybody and nobody ever pours back into your glass. So you get the tidbits of whatever's left as opposed to actually getting a drink of water. Now I drink the water, and if there's something left, I might share it with you. So I had to reprioritize my life and putting myself in a position where I would be first as opposed to me being the last or somewhere in there, and I could just get what I could get of me and not giving me enough of myself. So now I give me whatever I want. And I share
I
whatever.
love it. I love it. And you know what? We have to do that, you know, in our life, because we will keep on giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and we won't refill. We won't.
And then the takers don't stay. The takers keep taking. They don't have a
keep
limit.
taking.
So you have to set a
Yes.
limit.
Yes, I
Because
love
takers
it.
will drain you.
True.
Right.
True.
Who wants to
Now
go?
with me, my dreams and goals are non-negotiable.
Say that again.
My dreams and goals are non-negotiable. I will not put those on the back when I will not stop striving for them to please others. That is a
Mm-hmm.
no-no. I work hard at what I want. I work hard at my businesses, and it's a struggle at times, but I will not allow anyone, I don't care if it's family, boyfriend, whoever it is, to get in the way of that.
That's right. I love it. Who's next?
I'll go. Mine's I've learned to say no and protecting my peace. Because people are energy vampires, and my cutoff game is so strong. People don't understand the new me. They don't realize when you go through those things and you start finding God. Friends can be important, but I detect a lot of fakeness and I don't deal with it. I don't deal well. I'm all about peace and tranquility. And if you don't match my energy, I can't deal with it.
Awesome. That's good. I love it.
Mm.
Absolutely. Nora?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, but using it in a different way. But yeah, my time, because now people know what I do, as far as being an advocate for domestic violence. I'm constantly being bombarded with issues. People just want to talk to me at whenever they want to, and so I have to set boundaries to let them know, okay, we're going to have to set a time, because I can't just stop what I'm doing, to help a person. I will, but then if that affects me for some of the things that I need to get done, then they don't understand it, and some people don't respect your time. So that's what I have to make sure that I set boundaries on, let you know, okay, I understand you're hurting right now, but we're going to have to set a actual time to speak, not just in my inbox when you think I'm ready to talk, because yeah, if I keep doing that, I'm not going to ever be able to do what I need to do. And
Yeah.
so I have to do that. And some people, like she said, they will drain your energy. So I also have to protect my energy and also my space, because some people will just take what they want and they won't give back. So I'm not just reiterating what she said, but that's experience. That's what I've been dealing with, especially in
Yeah.
October, because October is domestic violence awareness month. So I'm constantly boom, boom, boom. But I know it's part of my calling, so that's why I do it. But for me, I need to start setting boundaries, because then I'm not going to get nothing done for myself if I don't.
Gotcha. I love it. Absolutely.
And pay
Shayna?
attention to those vibes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm kind of piggybacking off of Crystal and Nora, basically, where that has been one of the hardest things for me in the past, is literally saying no and setting a boundary for my time, and also not allowing men in particularly to belittle me or try to force me into doing things that I did not want to do.
Yeah.
That was something that was very hard for me at that point, but now who I am today, my no is a no and my yes is a yes. Leave it at that.
Yes, I love it. Awesome, awesome. So, share with everyone, one, after going and overcoming, and again, a lot of us are still in the process of our healing. A lot of us are, because everything is a process. Nothing is like, bam, I got it, right? I got this game of life on lock, right? It don't happen like that all the
No.
time. So, what is one strength that after all of this, what's one or two strengths you feel like that built your characteristic? Like where are you now? Who wants to go first? Anybody?
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'll go first. Um, I don't feel like I have to explain myself. If I say no, that's a full sentence. It needs no explanation. I don't have to give you a reason. No is just my answer. Um, and also, I've learned that it's okay to be selfish sometimes. And those were the
Okay.
two things that I always struggled with. Like I had to justify why I told you no because I would feel guilty about it. I don't have that guilt anymore.
Push that mute button. Go ahead.
Say that again.
I was telling everybody to push their mute button because I heard something background noise. But you said your no is your no. That was your second one, right?
Oh no, no was my first one without explanation. It's a full sentence. I don't have to explain it or justify it. I can just say no and be okay with it. And I used to carry a guilt when I would do that, but I don't have that guilt anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that what you asked me?
Yeah. Did you give us your second one? I think I heard a background noise when you was giving your second one. Was that your second one or your first one?
Oh, that was my first one, and then my second one was oh, I forgot that fast.
That's okay.
I
That's
just
okay. We can
my
rewind. We
memory
can
as long as my real hair, girl.
Okay, well we can rewind it. Don't worry about it. Crystal, any type of strengths after you felt you was the caregiver for your mom and you're like, I need, your growing process. Where's your strength now? Like what's one of the or two of your strengths?
Oh, my strength 100 right now. But my main strength is it's kind of like what she said. I didn't. It went in when you comes your turn. You just
Shoot.
but some of my strengths are oh gratitude and also not thinking personally of what others think of me because whatever they think of me, that's on them. Because people have their own individual perception of which are not actually you are. And however they feel about you, they can either take me or leave me. So I love myself. Self love is what is very key with me. I had to learn to love myself all over again, and you can't tell me nothing at this point. So I'm really strong, charismatic. My mother taught me, as a big girl with big breasts, stuff, put that good bra on and hold your chest up high and be confident. I'm very confident, very confident. So, and I have to be that way. I have four boys that look up, and I want them to have women that look, strong and resilient. I tell my son, you don't have to pick a woman just like me, but at least let me be a role model. You'll know the quality of a woman that doesn't mind working and has good value. So somebody that you're proud to bring home to your mom. So
Absolutely. Dr. Cherie.
I was going to say the power of no. Anything again that doesn't serve me in my life and at this stage, um, it's not happening. So I allow myself a lot of mercy and grace. And when I am having my breakdowns, or I have moments where, I have those memories of my son and I really start to break down, I allow myself that moment. I allow myself that moment and I don't apologize for my feelings. So I may say yes today, but if I'm not feeling it tomorrow, then I have to communicate no. And like the young lady Tootie said, no is not a dirty word. No doesn't have to mean uh, no opportunity. Just means not this opportunity or not this time. And no is a complete sentence.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And you know what? As we all get older, we learn some boundaries, we learn some new rules for ourselves. We take on new agreements for us that honor us, right? And that was a new agreement for myself. It's been in effect for a couple of years, and I love the word no now. I'm like,
Yes.
hell no, get out my face. Yes, I will say no. I'm not doing that. So yeah, so awesome, Nora.
My strength is knowing that who I am in God, and nobody can change that, because I had to be that way. And I mean, I can only be strong because that's all I could do, was to be strong. And when people, that knew me before would try to tell me I'm this person or I'm that person, that's not me no more. That person died back in June of 1996 when I gave my life to the Lord. And so people bring me back to where I used to be. I'm gonna let them know, no, this is the new Noor. Get used to it, because I'm not going back there. And they just gonna have to like it or leave it, But it is what it is, because I'm me. I'm who God made me, and I don't apologize for not being who they want me to be. I'm gonna be who God said I'm gonna be, and that's my strength.
Awesome. I love it. And that's how we should live our life. Absolutely. Shayna.
Yes, for me, it is my resilience. And just like Nora said, it that I was going to say, it is my relationship with God. I feel like, growing up and even going through like the traumas that I had as a child and in my adult years, I knew church, but I didn't know God. And so I can honestly say that through that trauma that I experienced, I was able to actually build a true, authentic, and beautiful relationship with God. And so those are my strengths that I have now.
Okay, gotcha. So we're gonna wrap this up, but I wanted to ask Dr. Cherie before she leaves. What is there one and this is for everyone. What is one thing that you would have taught your younger self that you did not know as you got an adult?
I think I would have told myself to take more chances and become an entrepreneur earlier, so I could have been making the money then that I'm making now, and probably to finish my degree sooner.
Gotcha. Okay. Next, anybody can jump in and just go around the table.
I would have told my younger self, well, I would have helped my younger self build her confidence, because I do know that a lot of the things that I placed myself into and some of the things that have happened to me is because I had a lack of confidence in myself and I truly didn't love myself. Now that I do love myself, like, boundaries are set at a whole different level at this point. So definitely confidence for me.
I can go.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is to not dwell so much on relationships and invest in yourself, because if I would have took that energy that I put into my relationships and broken promises and everything, I would be a millionaire. So take that time. And if I had any daughters, but I teach this to my boys too. For one, I got my oldest son is a traveling guru. He's been traveling ever since he was 1 year old. He's been places that I have never seen in the world. But I teach them that the sky is the limit. Nothing is impossible, and the world is pretty much yours. So I just want them to go and just don't put limitations on life and live and enjoy life and make your money. And my 22-year-old now, he travels for work, so my two oldest ones travel all the time now, and I just be I just my faith in God and pray for them endlessly, and I want them to grow and enjoy this world because God made a beautiful place.
Have everybody answered?
No,
Um,
okay.
I would tell my younger self to let. I would tell her there's no rush.
Mm.
I would tell her there's no rush to live your life. Love is gonna be there. If it's for you, it's for you. There's no reason to rush. Enjoy your life and live it to the fullest.
Gotcha.
I would tell
Absolutely. I agree.
I would
Okay,
tell my
Tootie.
younger self. I'm sorry.
No,
Can
go
I talk?
ahead, Tootie.
You hear me? Oh, okay. I keep hearing the echo, so I never know if I'm talking on delay or not. I'm sorry. Um, I would tell my younger self to value myself. I was taught to respect myself, but I wasn't taught to value myself, and that's a completely different place. So I
Yes.
would definitely teach me to value myself more than anything else because I think had I valued myself more, I would have made a lot of different decisions in my life.
Oh,
I don't have a bad life, but I'm sure it would have
yes.
been a lot different than what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say same thing that Alicia said about don't rush because I let peer pressure kind of get the best of me, and that's why I became a mother at 18. I could have waited, but I was catching up with what my friends were doing. Instead of just being who I was supposed to be in the time that I probably should have been a mother. So I end up being a statistic, being a teen mom, and that was not something I would have even chose, for my life. So by me, not doing what I should have done by just waiting for the right time, I got myself in a predicament that I got myself in. So I would have definitely said, don't rush, just, let it happen the way it's supposed to happen and just, you know,
Exactly.
let God guide my steps. I didn't know Jesus at that time, so
Yeah.
definitely if I would have known Jesus a lot sooner, I'm sure my life would have had a whole different story.
Well, I just want to say thank you all so much for coming on here with me today. And just basically just sharing about the Black Women Healing Together Summit. And I think this is what's so important that people get this bonus because people don't know what goes on behind the scenes. They didn't get a lot of people didn't get to hear the stories. People in life are thinking that woe is me, I'm in this by myself, and we just need to come together and heal. So I'm urging people and inviting people that if you feel alone, you don't really have to feel that way anymore. We have a community that you can come to, and that is like-minded and heart-centered people that is willing to support you and guide you. And my motto is to give first. Like some of the other ladies said, there's so many takers in the world, and I try my best not to surround myself with the takers, but there also are some amazing givers that's willing to give and take. There's some amazing people that's willing to partner and collaborate. So I just want to say thank you all so much, and we will have a part two. So thank you all, and I love you all, and until next time, talk
Bye,
to you soon.
everybody.
All right, bye.